I feel the gravity pull and it keeps me away. I would rather be here, lonely in space. I've made up my mind, I just wanna be free. I live my own life in a new galaxy. I wanna be weightless in the silence of the night sky.
Hello and welcome back, I'm Sean, and after so many iterations of the Liberty series from Soundcore, are they getting better and better? And today we're checking out the latest Soundcore Liberty 5, so let's check it out. So starting with what I like, I know I'll talk more about it later on, but this earbuds is great because of the sound quality you get with it, and my gosh, is this a great sounding earbuds, and you really need to test it out to really know what I'm saying. And I also like the battery life you get with these earbuds, and with ANC off, you're getting a whopping 12 hours with 36 additional hours with the case, and if you turn on ANC, you still get a respectable 8 hours and 24 additional hours with the case, which is better than both the Liberty 4 Pro as well as the Liberty 4. So you also get Dolby sound mode with these earbuds, and if you also enable that with ANC, you're going to get 5 hours of battery life with 15 additional hours with the case, which if you think about it is the performance of most earbuds battery out there. And finally, if you enable everything and then use it to stream in LDAC mode, then you're going to get an even lower battery life, but then again, you have so many technologies running at one go, so it's fair to say you get lesser battery life. But don't worry, because if you run out of battery, a quick 10 minutes charge will give you 5 hours of use without ANC and Dolby. So I also like the feature of preference sound test that you get with the Soundcore app, and with that you can really fine tune what you really like and what you don't, which is great for finding the sound that you like. And for Dolby sound that Soundcore introduces here is also really good, with very prominent differences in sound quality, and everything just get doubly good when Dolby is enabled for music, podcast or movie mode. So I also like the tech that you get here. You're going to get a Bluetooth 5.4 chipset with LDAC support, and you also get a nice IP55 water resistant rating to protect your earbuds. Also, you get a very good ANC performance with these earbuds, and we'll talk a little bit more about that later on. And also for someone with really small ears, Soundcore also gives you 6 different ear tips to choose from, ranging all the way from XXS size ear tips. And finally, I also like the wireless charging case you get with this earbud. So what I think could be better, first off, is that case. And for the first time in ever, Soundcore made a sliding lid that is not solid and is wobbly, which is a big minus in my book, because both the Liberty 4 as well as the Liberty 4 Pro has very solid non-wobbly lids. So depending on what you like, there isn't any wellness feature now in the Liberty 5, unlike the Liberty 4. So I personally think this is a plus point for me because it's not something that I use, but since it's a removal, I'll put it here. So being the same price as the Liberty 4 Pro, it's also a minus point that you don't get a screen on your case like the Liberty 4 Pro, which I understand they might be saving that for the Liberty 5 Pro, but still a bummer. And I know that you're going to get a free case if you use my codes in the description, but it would be nice if Soundcore will start including either the case in the box itself, or maybe even a carrying pouch to protect the case. You're paying quite a lot of money for these earbuds already, so a case would really just up the value proposition of these earbuds. So comparing the older Liberty 4 launched previously at $149 US, the Liberty 5 now cheaper, coming in at $130 US, which is actually the same price as the Liberty 4 Pro when it was launched last year, and for the advancements that you get, it's a really good price. So if you find value in what you hear and now and like what you see, do subscribe to the channel and ring the notification bell so the YouTube algorithm can pick this up. And if you want to buy these earbuds, do check out my links below, and you can also use my codes to get some discount as well as a free case. My gosh, sound quality is one of the best I've ever heard in this price range, and if I'm honest, in any price ranges. Don't even worry about the different EQs that these earbuds can offer, so just pop it in either Soundcore signature, or if you want to use the preference test, it will sound amazing. I personally prefer to play with Dolby sound turned on, but this takes up more battery life, so do take note of that, but it'll give you the best sounding, most immersive sound signature. So thanks to the 9.2mm dynamic driver and the bass tube technology, you're getting fantastic sound signature with these earbuds. When it comes to the sub-bass performance, you're not going to be disappointed, and with the 4 bass sequences in Daft Punk's Doing It Right, not only that it generates it perfectly, but it's aggressive and deep. Really amazing. Mid-bass is also handled beautifully with the earbuds giving you that very solid thumb and just blends with all the other frequencies very well. So mid vocals is also slightly forward in its original Soundcore signature tuning, just a tad bit, but when doing the preference test, I noticed I like it a little bit more forward, and because of that, this earbuds becomes infinitely tunable and nice sounding. So highs is also the star of the show along with the other frequencies as well, and with most songs you're getting beautiful sparkles and all the high notes, which sounds just amazing. And all in all of the frequencies just blends together beautifully, and I'm really amazed at just how good these earbuds sound. Without using it with Dolby sound, it also sounds really good. So if you want to save a little bit of battery life, then don't have to turn Dolby sound on. Using it in LDAC mode slightly improves the clarity across the board, and surprisingly it doesn't destroy the bass performance, but in my opinion you really don't need LDAC with these earbuds to burn even more battery life, because just with the regular codecs you're already getting amazing sound quality. So this is a test to see if the Soundcore Liberty 5 is a good earbuds for making phone calls. So this is me speaking in a relatively quiet environment, and this is the call quality that you can expect. So what I'm going to do now is to turn on a simulated background noise so you can hear a difference. So now there's a simulated background noise playing in the background, and this is the call quality that you can expect from these earbuds. So what do you think of the call quality? Let me know in the comment section down below. So I have a small complaint here with the build quality. Overall, I like the finish of the Liberty 5. You get a very nice powdered matte paint on the case, very smooth, very high quality, and at the top here is also a Soundcore branding. At the bottom, you're going to get a nice flat surface that supports wireless charging, and behind the case is also a Type-C port. So with all the Liberty series, except for the Liberty 4 NC, you're going to get a slide-up case. But with the Liberty 5, the case actually feels very flimsy, and it's not the same as, like you get with the Liberty 4 Pro or the Liberty 4, which has zero wobble. So the Liberty 5 lid now has some play into it, and I don't know if this bothers anyone else, but it really takes a hit for me in the premium feeling of this case. So inside here, you get a simple design without the screen of the Liberty 4 Pro, so I also can't wait to see what Soundcore will do with their Liberty 5 Pro series this year. But with that said, you will still get a nice AirPods Pro style ear tips, and they are very comfortable to wear. So this earbuds here is very simple with a glossy stem up front here, and also you get side tap control, so you just have to squeeze this, and these earbuds have everything you want built into it. You have in-ear sensors, multi-point, you have comfort. Personally, it fits me really well, as to all in-ear earbuds do. Another thing that is removed and we probably won't miss is the heart rate sensor on the Liberty 4, which is innovative and I'll give Soundcore that, but it's really not something that you're looking for. Plus, you're not wearing your earbuds 24/7 like a smartwatch, so having a heart rate sensor feels like it's solving a non-existent problem. So volume here is very similar to the Liberty 4 Pro, and you get a comfortable listening volume at around 45%, and pushing outwards of 70% feels good. It's loud but very usable, but anything above 80% is too loud for me. So these earbuds are very stable with no noticeable rattling or distortion, and very composed at high volumes. So I like the Soundcore app, and there's a good reason for it. At the homepage, you're going to get your earbuds color-coded to the color that you purchase, and you also get the battery percentage and level of the earbuds and the case, which is fantastic. So under ambient sound control, you get to choose your ANC performance, a manual mode with 5 levels of ANC, or a transparency mode for airplane or car ride. Why I like this app layout is because for any ANC mode that you choose, you also get to turn on wind noise reduction, where other earbuds gives you wind noise reduction as a separate mode, so you don't get ANC together with wind noise reduction. So I think what Soundcore did here is superb. So under sound effects, you get to enable your Dolby sound in 3 modes: music, podcast, or movies. And below that, you also get a few settings. You get preference tests, which lets you test which type of sound that you like. You also get your presets, where you get a lot of EQs to choose from, including the Soundcore signature. And finally, custom EQ is where you get your 8-band EQ to configure. So moving on, you get here ID sound test, your control remapping, where now you get to configure the single press to also take photo, which is cool and it works flawlessly. And Soundcore lets you adjust almost everything here except for gaming mode, so you always need to go into the app to toggle gaming mode. And under the settings, you get an in-call sound awareness, so when you are making a call, it will turn on transparency mode, and you get your wearing detection as well, adaptive sound leakage compensation, your safe volume settings, prompt tone settings, multi-point settings, as well as a fit test. And every time you get an update, you can update it through the app as well. So from an ANC standpoint, I think it's very difficult to improve from an almost perfect ANC performance. And Soundcore says it has 2x better voice reduction, and I think it's pretty accurate. And comparing it to the Liberty 4 ANC that I still daily rock now, can you believe it? And I can now feel that the ANC performance for crowd noise isn't as high as I rated it to be previously. It used to be good because it set the benchmark previously a couple of years ago, and very few earbuds come close. But now everything just gets better and better. And with Soundcore's legacy in making such great ANC algorithm, you're not getting shortchanged here. So using it to test airplane cabin noise, road noise, cafe noise tests, all works perfectly well when you have some soft music playing. So this applies to all ANC earbuds out there, and with some soft music playing, almost everything gets wiped out, except for the cafe noise test where I still hear a tiny bit of impression of sound coming through, but mostly it's because I know the sound is there. And I think there are benefits using the airplane and car mode under the ANC settings, and perhaps they are tuned more towards those frequencies, and I do find them effective in what they do. With that, I'm giving these earbuds an ANC performance of 9.9 out of 10, again an almost perfect score. With the Liberty 5, you're going to get a dedicated gaming mode which significantly improves latency performance, and without turning it on, there is quite a delay when playing games, and when you turn it on, it improves latency to almost non-existent. It also works well with watching movies and videos with no latency detected. Anyways, let's take a look at the latency performance of these earbuds. So all in all, I think you're getting a very marginal improvements year on year, and it's really hard to improve on something that is already good. And I really understand that. But with a cheaper price tag compared to the Liberty 4 and with so many great features, I think again we'll need to crown this as the king of earbuds in 2025 as well, until the Liberty 5 Pro comes out. So if you also want to check out the review of the Liberty 4 Pro to see how it stacks up against this year's Liberty 5, click here on this video right over here, and if you want another video, check out my latest review right over here, and I'll see you over at those videos.